Hey guys, wanted to make a new video since I haven't made one in a pretty long time. It's about group work, because this semester I've been having a lot more group work than usual. When I first started college, most of my classes really didn't have much group work. I can't even recall a class that I had at the beginning that actually had group work. You know, they're all like huge lecture hall classes where you could just stay at the back of the classroom and just be invisible. Which, you know, having social anxiety, I really like that. But now I'm not so lucky, because with upper division courses, you're gonna have smaller classes. And along with smaller classes comes presentations and group work, my two favorite things. Yeah, so two of my classes have group work this semester. One of them is consumer behavior. It's just a marketing related course. My other one is, it's just a writing course. And we're gonna have to do a project, like this huge project where we just have to work in a group. I've never actually done a big project where we have to work in a group before, just small ones. And so I'm really worried about that. But yeah, there are so many things about group work which just scare the hell out of me. For one thing, when the teacher makes you pick out groups, it really isn't good. You know, anyone else have that moment where the teacher says, okay, so I'm gonna have you split up into, and you just know the next word that they're gonna say is groups, and you just start freaking out inside. Like, oh my god, how am I gonna find a group? What if I can't find one? So that is always what goes through my head whenever the teacher says to work in groups. And usually I'll get lucky too. I mean, usually some people will just say, want to be in our group? And I'll say, sure. You know, usually people just go by who they're sitting by, so it's not that bad. But, you know, sometimes you might get to the point where you won't be able to find a group, and so you'll have to invite yourself into a group, which really is kind of an awkward situation, especially if all the people in the group know each other well. So you're just kind of like the third wheel or whatever. So yeah, I had something else to say. What was I gonna say? Hold on. I'll probably cut this part of the video out so you guys don't have to see me thinking about what I was going to say. Yeah, it just sucks when a teacher makes you split up into groups, or even worse, split up into partners. You know, and sometimes it got to the point where I was thinking, maybe I should just work by myself, and hopefully the teacher will be fine with a paper turned in that just has one name on it. But I haven't had to do that yet, but it's just an option that I always have in mind. So yeah. Then when I'm actually working in a group, that's pretty bad too. And here's why. Whenever I'm working with people, you know, I'm already anxious to begin with. And when I'm anxious, my mind kind of goes, I just kind of go brain dead. And so you want to contribute to the group, and you want to have things to say, but sometimes you just can't think of anything to say. And it's not because you don't know the material, it's just because at the moment your mind just freezes. And thankfully, I've been having less trouble with this lately. Like last semester, for one of my classes, we had to split into groups for something, and oh my god, I didn't contribute at all. We had to think of examples of something, and I couldn't come up with any examples. And the people kept asking me if I had any ideas, and I was just like, no. It really kind of sucked, but yeah. But sometimes what will happen with groups is that I'll actually kind of take charge of the group, which is really weird for me, having social anxiety. But sometimes I'll just take charge and my social anxiety will just go out the window. Yesterday, I actually had to work in a group for buyer behavior, and we had to answer a bunch of questions, and I don't know, I was kind of guiding my group. I mean, it was really weird. Of course, afterward, I was obsessing over how I had acted, thinking that maybe they thought it was weird, me kind of being the leader of the group, and thinking that I had acted weird, like I kept laughing at stuff they said, and now when I replay it in my head, it seems like I was just laughing really loudly, and I worry that the whole class, just looked over at me like, what a weirdo, what is she laughing at? But, of course, that's my own social anxiety talking. I really don't think I started laughing like a total buffoon. I hope I didn't. But, yeah. This is kind of like my rewind fast-forward video that I made once. Because, group work, it causes anxiety before the situation, during the situation, and after the situation. I'm still obsessing over how I acted during group work yesterday. Another time I said something, and they didn't understand what I had said, and I had to repeat myself. And I hate that too. I'm obsessed with my voice. I'm obsessed with sounding with people not being able to understand what I'm saying. Because I have a big problem with speaking clearly. So it just causes a lot of anxiety for me when people tell me that they couldn't hear what I said. But, I don't know. It's good that I have a lot of group work to do because it gives me experience talking to people. I just need to remember that. Tomorrow I have more group work for that same class with the same groups. I'm hoping it will go okay. Maybe I'll tell you guys how it goes. Okay, I guess that's it. I hope I wasn't too rambly in this video.